I think we're live. Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome. And we are live.
Hello.
And tonight, well, in South Africa anyway, I've got the lovely MJ, wonderful MJ from Reading is Life. And yeah, we're going to talk about all kinds of books, mainly horror. And we can talk about other interesting things like her writing and banned books. And let's see what subjects come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, MJ is just a pillar of the community. Just so important part of the community in terms of the way she treats smaller booktubers with her channel. And yeah, how are you doing, MJ?
I'm doing fantastic. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me on. I don't get a chance to do a lot of these one-on-ones, and it's pretty special. So thank you, Cliff.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, it's good to have you on my show. And actually, we had a show last night.
We did. I feel like I haven't left.
But that was like one on 4 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Dave joined us. Dave and Olive. Yeah.
Hello.
No. I'm saying Dave joined us
Oh,
last
I thought
night.
they were here. Okay.
Yeah. So how was your day? What were you up to?
Well, my day starts at about 4:30 in the morning, and I get up and I take care of the dog and get some high quality reading in, and have a slow breakfast. And it's an absolutely stellar autumn day where I'm at. The sun is out, the leaves are starting to turn. It's just chef's kiss. Really, really good. It's a good day so far.
Wow.
Chef's kiss. How about you?
Yeah, I don't get up that early. We get up a bit later because we kind of work from home. My wife is very busy right now. She's got a huge project. But yeah, we get up, have coffee, we just take it easy. I did a lot of reading today. I'm busy reading Salem's Lot. And it's a reread after 35 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just loving it.
That's awesome.
It's coming back to me. And yeah, besides that, taking Layla for a walk, feeding her, make sure she's happy. And whenever cars come in, she starts going ballistic, but making sure she's happy. Yeah.
That's what I call a slow Sunday. Slow Sundays are the best.
Relax Sunday. Yeah. And how about your thing with BookTube, like your background to BookTube, and why did you start? When did you start? How did you start?
Okay. So, I'm coming up on my 3rd anniversary. I started my channel Halloween Eve in 2021. And I needed that outlet because I was reading books. And I have one person in my life that reads similar to me. That's my best friend. And I wanted something more because we don't talk every single day. We don't talk every single month. We're probably like, we're the best friends that could catch up 3 months after not seeing each other or talking to each other. We're that kind of people.
Yeah.
So I said to my husband, I said, listen, I had a small channel already, but I wanted to switch. I had a small channel. It was mostly fashion. It was vintage fashion, vintage handbags and stuff like that. I said, my passion right now is really books. And I found a niche where people are talking about books, and they're talking about books that I like to read. And, I started getting off of the New York Times and the Booker Prize and all of that, because that's really what I read, because that's all that I would ever see in the news that people were talking about. And then when I found BookTube, I found this little circle of people that would talk about all of these old, obscure vintage books. And I'm like, these are my people. These are my people, and I want to join in. So I just had to, I did a lot of research first. I watched a lot. I learned a lot. I learned the language. I learned the tech, apart from doing my first video. And when I did my first video, I had the camera angle wrong. I did the BookTube newbie tag, and when I hit publish, I'm like, oh God, is anyone going to watch?
That's a feeling we'll get.
Yeah.
That's what I had as well. Yeah.
And having that little bit of uncertainty, I said, you know what? There's going to be one person that's going to watch my stuff. There's got to be one person out there. And I walked away, and I remember getting my first subscriber like a couple days later. And I said to my husband, I'm like, I got my first subscriber. Like, somebody actually likes my content and they want to come back and watch it. And it was just so good. And I remember that feeling. And that's the feeling that I want to give others when I talk about their channels on Support Small BookTube.
Yeah.
You know, just that little, like somebody's watching your content, you know, and me having that little show is bringing more eyes to your content, you know, because I want to share that. I want to replicate that feeling for as many people as possible. So to me, that little Support Small BookTube series that I do, that never gets old at all. You know,
No,
it just doesn't. So yeah, so my channel started 3 years ago on a bit of a whim, and I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, and I mean, I like every now and then doing shout out videos as well. But yeah, I don't do it as regularly as you, because that is definitely your part of BookTube, and it's wonderful.
Yeah,
and it's great. And
it really is for me. You know, it's a nice way for me to give back to people that are just starting out. And when I see other people shouting out channels, I love it. I'll like it. I'll share it. Like I'll do whatever I can to help somebody out, you know, because the worst thing is when you get attached to a channel and for some reason or another, they just don't have the self-confidence. They don't have that certain something that makes them want to continue. And I want to be the one that says, please keep putting out your content because people are going to watch it.
Yeah. And you actually need to be patient, and you need to be kind to yourself. You need to be patient.
Yes.
And you just say, look, there are people out there. And the longer you do it, you actually are going to get better as well. You're going to get better with the editing and the filming and the lighting and all that. It'll come to you. And as long as you yourself, there's people out there that will watch you. And
Absolutely.
So I absolutely agree with you there. So yeah, you just do a wonderful service for the community there. And we all know that you do it, and it's wonderful. It's awesome.
Thanks.
And yeah. And now, what about horror? And I mean, your reading. I know that it's kind of eclectic. I know with you.
Yeah.
It's kind of but you do read a lot of horror.
Yes. Well, before I started getting heavy into books, I was the kid that would watch all the vintage horror movies. Yeah. I would watch all of the Hammer movies. I would watch Plan 9 from Outer Space. If I saw Vampira on there, I'm glued. So I was the 7, 8, 9-year-old that would be watching Frankenstein, zombies, werewolves, all the black and white movies. And just like, it was so enlightening, invigorating. It fueled my soul. I have no idea how I can explain it, but I'm just this little kid that's addicted to watching vintage movies. And I'm like, I love this world. I love this world. And that kind of grew from there. I remember reading Clive Barker when I was in college. And I'm not going to lie, I was very scared to read horror. I loved watching movies, but I thought that crossing over into books would make it even scarier for me because now I'm alone in a room with the words, right? And yes.
Is that the one you read? Is that the one you read?
That's not the one that I read back in the day, but I have that one. How about was it yesterday was his birthday? He's 74 years old. How was Clive Barker 74 years old?
I have no idea. Look, I know that he was struggling with his health. Yeah. I've kept tabs on that because he had a big struggle with his health. He had a life scare, all sorts of things.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't know he was 74 years old. I know Stephen King is what, 67?
He's 70.
In September? Yeah.
Stephen King is 77.
Oh, 77. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Grady Hendrix was online last night, and he actually showed an original Books of Blood cover. And he's like, I want this to get back into print. I want a publisher to reprint this because it's so good, you know, and just trying to get it out there. And he mentioned that it was his birthday. And I'm like, how is Clive Barker 74 years old? Like, that blows my mind.
Yeah. Should we say hello to some people?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
I've just gone on a full screen, and we got quite a full screen here. Okay, so we got Ben's Corner. Hello, Ben. Hello, Ben. We got Blue Eyed Matt. Yay! Hello, guys. Matt's awesome. Always comes to all my live streams.
Cool.
Yeah. Already overbooked. Hey, all.
Hello.
We got Constant Campbell. Hello. And got Eric. He's stumbling in. And we got my greatest fan ever.
That's
Best
awesome.
fan. Hello, MJ and Cliff. Working but multitasking, so I'll be following along. That's my wife, my biggest fan.
Love it.
And we got Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa.
Hello.
Cliff and MJ. And we got Mark.
Hey, Mark, what's going on?
I absolutely loved his review of. Wait, hang on. I've got to say it properly. Akatar.
Akatar. Mm-hmm.
Akatar.
Yeah.
He did such a lyrical view. Old man reads Akatar. Just got my pizza in time for conversation. Starting my creature feature movie week. Awesome, man.
I love it.
Okay. Just Quiet and Dragons. Hello, John.
Hello.
And MJ, thank you for what you both do for small channels. Both gave me a shout out. When I barely had any subscribers, and it was awesome. Just wanted to say thanks.
You bet.
It's John. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He films outdoors.
Yes.
And just people need to check him out. It's really good.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And we got Constant Campbell.
Aw, thank you.
MJ is a sweetie. Okay, that's the book thing. You guys are the reason I have any audience at all. You're a pair of stars.
Aw, thanks.
Mark. And we got Ollie. Hey, bud.
Hey, there's my buddy.
And we got, I'm on that struggle. What? Struggle bus editing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
And
I'm lucky.
And the one thing I could say is don't over edit. Don't over edit. You know, sometimes just having a couple cuts is fine. You know? Yeah. Don't try and perfect it.
We kind of do. But I'm lucky I've got a wife to do a lot of that. You know, the fancy stuff for the intro and the outro and all that.
Yeah.
My wife actually does most of that. So
that's cool.
She's a perfectionist. She wants me to look good on camera. So
I'm sure.
It's not really showing off. It's my wife saying, look, this is our channel.
Yeah. Sometimes the best videos are when you just turn the camera on and start talking.
Yeah. We just don't do that. We need to learn to do that, yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Brian.
Brian's books are amazing. Everyone, look at Kindle Unlimited. Look at his website. His books are amazing. We're talking splatter, really, really good stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to get pencil quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one. Brian Bauer. Okay. I'm going to look him up.
Really good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What books has he done?
Oh gosh, off the top of my head, is it Autumn Gothic? There's a Gothic one. He has a number of different ones. Old Too Soon is one of his latest releases. There was another one that I read not too back, but he has, I believe, a collection of poetry that's out now too. Just trust me. Really, really good.
Trust you, MJ. I trust you.
Yeah, and our beloved Pax. Pax was a huge champion of Brian's work. So, you know, if Pax loved him, we all love him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think about Pax. It's sad that I started booktube, I think, at the end of December of 22.
Okay.
I was really only a booktuber. My second year anniversary is coming. End of December this year.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure with Pax. I think I discovered her quite late, but I can see she was also so important to the community.
She was
very sad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I want you to give me some book recommendations of books that I might like that you think that I might not have read yet, or possibly not read yet. That couldn't not necessarily just horror. It could be like a horror crossover or something. We're going to talk about occult detectives later, so not that yet.
Sure. Okay, so the first one, and this right now is still my book of the year. Right now, this is the best book that I've read this year. This is The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias. Gabino Iglesias is a fantastic writer who incorporates Latin culture. He incorporates this Americana vibe that is just weaved throughout his work. This is a little bit of thriller. It's a little bit of horror. It's a lot of gore. And it starts out with relationships. It starts out in such a way that you have no idea where this book is going to be going. So just to give you a little bit of a preview, it's a family. They have a daughter. The daughter has a terminal illness. They don't have insurance to pay to help their daughter. Okay. Their daughter passes away. He still has medical bills. So he's finding ways to pay the medical bills. And the ways that he is putting himself out there for hire is just insane. It's insane. There's a little bit of magic in here. There's a little bit of some killer animals in here. There's a lot. There's something for everyone. So this is the first one I would say go with. Now, Gabino writes, he incorporates a lot of Spanish in his books. So what I say is when you get to some Spanish sections, open up a Google Translate or whatever and just copy paste whatever you have to do, because there's so much meaning behind those little passages. And kudos to Book of the Month. When they published this, they also published a translation guide, which was very handy. So you can just go to the translation guide to see what they're talking about. But honestly, like, that book blew me away. So that's the first one. Then
we're gonna take it in turns, MJ.
The what?
We're gonna take it in turns.
Oh, go ahead. You go.
I want to recommend a book that I actually haven't spoken about since the beginning. The third video I did on my channel. When I was still uncomfortable after the booktube newbie tag. My sound wasn't right, my lighting wasn't great. I was uncomfortable, but I decided to put together the top 10 horror books of all time. My top 10 horror.
Yeah.
And it's now got so many likes and it's my most popular video.
Sure.
But I talked about The Wasp Factory by Thorn Banks. Now, this is not for everyone. And some would argue it's not really horror, more like kind of a dark literary fiction. And if you have any qualms about animal torture and violence at all, then you don't really want to read this book. If that's a trigger for you, do not read this book because it's there. But for me, it wasn't really about that. And it's set on a little Scottish island. I think it's an island just off kind of this little town, Scottish town. And it's kind of this family. It's his father who's kind of a little bit crazy, and his son. The one son is in a kind of mental home. He's nuts, and he's actually, this is not a spoiler, but he's getting out. He escapes, and he's coming home. That's not a spoiler. It happens quite quickly. And the other son is, it's a psychological look into this guy's head and what he does around this kind of family home. And it's just brilliant. It's psychological profile. I'd highly recommend it. But if you do have any problems with animal violence, animal torture, don't read this book. Otherwise, give it a go. You might enjoy it.
Cool. Good. All right, let's see. Okay, so this book crushed me last year, and I read this book and another one back to back, and I did a video on it because I read two very dark books back to back, and it put me in a tailspin. And I needed to read something happy and fuzzy and cute animals or something like that. It's the Laws of the Skies. Laws of the Skies.
I want to read that.
Yeah, Laws of the Skies by Gregoire Courtois, and it's the last 4 chapters is what put me over the edge. The way the book ends was just I'm a puddle on the ground, So there's an accident. There's children, and one by one they start their own demise. I don't know how else to say it, but the ending of the book is really the best part for me, and that's what crippled me as a reader.
Yeah. No, because I heard that right. I heard that right at the beginning. They basically say in the opening of the book, no one survives.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
it gives you the full arc as to how everything happens in the most intimate details.
Yeah. No, I want to read that soon now. I know that a lot of people say it's just too much, but yeah.
It's a lot, and just make sure after it you have something happy and funny and cute and light.
Legends and lattes. Like legends and lattes.
Yeah, for sure. That would be perfect. Yeah.
I needed that in July and August, but I'm not going to go into that. But I needed that book.
Yeah. I read it last year.
Here's a book that I could very, very vaguely. It's not occult detective, but it's kind of a horror, vampire, 70s espionage weird thing called Necroscope. That's a cool cover as well.
I like it.
Yeah, and it's really just about these two men who are very different, but they both have a skill.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't prepared anything yet, so if I get something wrong, sorry. But the one is a Necroscope, and he's a good guy, and just like in the Cold War, he's from Great Britain, and he can talk to the dead.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a good guy, and the dead tell him secrets. And then you got the Necromancer from Russia. Surprise, surprise. And he's doing jobs for Russian thing, and he rips the secrets out of the dead bodies. So sort of there's a scene right at the beginning of the book.
You're frozen, Cliff. Cliff, you're frozen. I don't know if I'm frozen or not. Come on, Cliff. I want to hear more about that book. I can't see comments or anything, everybody. Am I still here? I think I am. Let me see if I could get into the chat. Can I get into the chat? Oh, MG, I am mobile. It's not alive without tech issues. Okay. So I'm going to let Cliff do his thing. I can see the comments here.
Oh, there we go. I'm back.
There you go. All right.
Was it just me? Was it you or just me?
It was just you. I kind of carried the torch a little bit for you.
It's South Africa for you, third world country.
Hey, it is what it is. It's not. Ven said it's not alive unless there's tech issues.
There has to be some issues now.
Sure.
But yeah, anyway, I was saying about this book,
mm-hmm.
and there's a vampire in the mix. And look, it's the beginning of a long series, and surprisingly, I haven't read part 2 yet. I really actually want to. Actually, really enjoyed this.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, and I want to read. Actually, I have read more Brian Lumley. I read a short story of his as well, and yeah, it's excellent. I don't know where I got the occult detective thing. Maybe it's just because it's a psychic thing against another, and they come together. The paths are going to cross. So there is a little bit of it in this one as well.
Yeah. Sounds good though.
It is very good. Yeah. Your third one.
My third one is a little bit different. So for all the ladies out there, this could be a good horror book for you. I know some men have read it, and some men are just like, I don't understand what I just read. But the ladies will know. So Cliff, did you ever see the movie The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay. So
I can't remember everything what it was about.
Johnny Depp is a book dealer, and he's looking for a certain book written by a certain someone who might be Satan.
Yeah. No, I remember. Yeah.
Okay. So this book has 2 book dealers. Actually, there's a group of book dealers, but then it just winds up being 2. And they are looking for a certain book written by a Mr. Aleister Crowley. And there's books that are legit. There's one book that's legit, and there's others that are similar, but it's missing a certain passage, right? So the Book of the Most Precious Substance has adventure. We have a little bit of romance in there. We have a little bit of thriller, because people start dropping, people start dying, and people start coming after these book dealers because word gets out. They received an offer for like $12 million to find this book. So they are on the hunt and they are competing with all the forces out there. So there's a little bit of magic. There's a little bit of darkness. There's a little bit of soul searching for some of these characters. And it's just written in such a way where you are on for a roller coaster of a ride. And it gets into where the title comes from. And that's the feminist piece of it all. So it's a little sexy of a book. There's a little sexiness in there, but it's also dark magic. There's relationships. We have all different type of nuances in there. So it's a great book for a female reader, a feminist reader that's looking for something different, or if any males want to read it out there too. It's just good. It's just good. It's
you're saying the sexy part is with a male.
Well, the sexy part, the women will understand better than a male would.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. Because it has to do with the workings of our body, and a woman would know that as opposed to.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's really good. Sarah Gran also wrote Come Closer, which is a possession novel that a lot of people have talked about, but the Book of the Most Precious Substance, I caught on that from the New York Times. The New York Times did a review of it, and I'm like, what is this book, and where do I get it?
That sounds very, very cool.
It is good.
We're actually going to check on the comments just now again, but first, last night we had a discussion with Greg from Another Bibliophile Reads, and was on his channel, and eventually Dave and Olive, how can I forget that? But anyway, they joined us later as well. But we were talking Graham Masterton for a bit, and we're talking about some books. And I was trying to find this cover, so I just thought I'd find it. That's Death Tree.
Look at that cover. That's so good.
And this is part of a series. We were saying that last night, right?
Okay.
It's part of a series, yeah. And I was trying to recommend this book, Orchards.
That's another good cover. I wonder if that's the same artist.
It is. It's Graham Masterton.
Oh, he does the art too?
Oh, the artist. No, I don't know who the artist is. No.
Okay.
But this is brilliant. It's about psychos that get stuck in a wall. I'm not really going to go more into that. But
I don't think you have to.
It gets very crazy, very gory. And it's like 70 years before the modern times. There was a psychiatric hospital, and everyone disappeared.
Okay.
The walkers. Yeah, it's not really giving anything away because it kind of tells you on the back.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving
no spoilers. No spoilers.
Very, very, very interesting book.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at the comments. Wow. Okay. Now I have to actually pay attention to the comments. Okay, so we've got Erie. They're getting carried away. It's weird that Clive Barker and Robert McCammon are the same age. Barker is always the young rebel.
For real.
Agreed. Brian's books rock. Yeah.
They do.
Well, I've got them written down now. I'm going to check them out.
Cool.
That is weird. I think Paxos is how I first heard about Brian.
Same.
God, man, I feel the same about movies. Static, long shots are much more effective to me, rather than 50 shortcuts of something as simple as a guy pumping gas.
Yeah, talking about editing.
Yeah. But sometimes in different situations, you have to edit more.
Sure.
Like because of outside disturbances, dogs barking, cars hooting, things like that. Something happens, so you have to actually edit more. You don't have a choice.
Or you could just leave it in like me, and a lawnmower goes by and just do a zoom up of your face, because that's real life.
Yeah, it is real life. The only thing we let go by is the hardy dogs. Those noisy things.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we really have no control over. Yeah, that's awesome. Love the Wasp Factory. I think The Butcher Boy. I've read that as well, Patrick McCabe. But I need to give that a reread. Very disturbing book. It's a great companion piece to it. Another very disturbing. I think it's just remind me, Mark, is that in Ireland or Scotland, Wales? Yeah, The Butcher Boy. I love The Wasp Factory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming in hot. How are you doing, man? I'm coming in hot to finish Salem's Lot for the second time. I'm also busy. When I'm finished with this, I've got about 100 and something pages left. This is where, like you said last night, this is where he lights a fire under the whole situation. He starts the fire.
Yep.
So all this creepy, nasty stuff that's happening, it just blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some other character's channel is great too.
Yeah.
He puts out some great content.
Yeah. He talks a lot about movies as well.
Yes, the Silence of the Lambs movie is chef's kiss.
And we were just talking about editing now. If you listen very closely, you can hear Layla outside barking her.
Okay.
I'm coming in hot, hard to finish Salem at the time. Only you rock. Yeah. Okay, we got Constance Campbell, Disguise or Disguise? Disguise. Huh?
The skies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Constance, it's dark. You got to be in a good frame of mind with that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've just heard so much about it. So, like kind of the Lord of the Flies with toddlers.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can hear you.
Oh, that's when you froze.
Yeah. Oh, is that when I was going, hello, who's out there? Okay. Mr. MJ is mobile.
I was still moving.
It's not a live stream without tech issues. No, you're right, Ben. It's not. I need to read more of the Necroscope. Yeah, I've only read the first one, Ollie, and I loved it. Highly recommended for you, MJ.
Okay. I love a little espionage. I love a little vampires.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And just a hint of occult detective.
Yeah. How many books are in the series?
Oh, I have no idea, but there are lots.
Oh, okay. Is it like a Jim Booker lots? I'm very non-committal when it comes to series. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, well, I'm the same. That's why I haven't found the second one. I think I've got 1 and 4.
Okay.
Okay. Cliff is frozen. Yeah, I was. Hey, I'm not frozen anymore.
No, you're alive.
You're not frozen, MJ.
Thank you.
Okay, we're stuck in stank face frame. It's an alligator. Oh no, it's a cliffhanger.
I love that. That's so good.
It's a cliffhanger. Yeah.
Cool.
This has happened to me before, and instead of it going black, my face was like,
yeah,
for like 30 seconds or so.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Pat.
Pat is awesome. She's BookTube's favorite retired English teacher.
Yeah. It's Irish. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm not going to get much talking. You know what you guys should do? You should ask us questions as well.
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want to know within reason?
So, yeah, exactly. I'm starting her heartbeats for Ancient Beast today. Ooh. That's awesome. You must let me know because I wish I had it here with me. I might. This is a gift from a South African author, Calvin Demmer. He contacted me by email, mm-hmm. and he's living in Cape Town, and he was just sending us to horror lovers.
Cool.
And you'll find him on BookTube as well. And this is one of 4 books he gave me. Nice. So I'm reading it this month, yeah. And it's doing pretty damn well on BookTube. I mean, on Goodreads, so you should check it out.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. I was filming today, a creepy old place in the middle of nowhere. And all of a sudden, a chainsaw starts up. It'll definitely need editing.
That could be atmospheric too.
Yeah, John likes to film in graveyards,
Yeah.
and abbots, old abbots and cemeteries, and ambient music. Very cool. Okay. And actually, John does as well. I mean, Mark does as well. Yeah.
Keep it in.
Keep it in. Yeah.
Hello, Christopher.
Hi, Christopher. Necroscope stands alone well. Yeah, it is a good standalone book.
Good.
But you hear that it does kind of explode from there. So, question 2, Cliff. When does Sparkling Gem start? Hey, I like the Court of Thorn and Roses, okay? I'm not going to make a habit of it.
Sparkling.
I don't think I'll be reading a lot of romance anytime soon. But I actually love the cozy fantasy, Legends and Lattes. That's a beautiful book.
It was cute, yeah.
It was very cute, yeah. But I'm not going to answer that question directly. Planning to see the new film.
Ooh, that's on my list. I'd love to see that.
What is that film and where?
It got rave reviews in the Cannes Film Festival, and from what I've heard, it has very Cronenberg vibes, but it's very, for women, it's very beauty obsessed with the needles and the surgeries and all this kind of stuff. And I guess this substance comes into play, and there's a lot of body horror from what I understand, but people are raving about it. They're raving about it. Yeah, Demi Moore is in it.
Our nearest film theater is 2.5 hours drive away.
Oh, wow.
That's how remote we are. So we don't really watch films anymore. And we take Leia everywhere we go. So if we're going to watch a movie, it has to come out, on Showmax or on DSTV or something like that.
Yeah, and anymore, like, the movies, they hit small screens within a month or two these days instead of waiting like 6 months or a year for a movie to come out. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Okay. I want to discover more unknown books from around the world. What books do you think deserve more attention from around the world? Well, I'm going to start with Calvin Demmer, South African author.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read him yet.
Great one.
Really good. Yeah.
I really don't have any. This is a good book. I pulled this one. Now, the author, this is a translated version. Let me see. This is translated from German. This is You Should Have Left by Daniel Kelman. And it's a very, very subtle horror. I'm going to write. I would still put it in the horror category. You're questioning a lot as to what happens. You're questioning reality in this book a little bit. So just a little bit of a premise. Someone's blurb says, a book that should carry a health warning, read alone at your own risk. So it's a screenwriter. His wife and their 4-year-old daughter rent a house in the mountains of Germany, but something isn't right. And they notice that the rooms aren't where he remembers them. So it's a little bit of a haunted house type thing. But then we're also bending reality a little bit. It's really good. It's a shorty. It's only like 100 pages long.
Okay. I actually wanted to see if I've got the other. I presented it on a video. The 4 books that this Calvin Demmer did. So, obviously. Oh, here we go. Here are the other books that he gifted to me. First of all, Dark Celebrations. Nice. And now you have to understand that I was just very excited to get my hands on South African horror.
Sure.
Because I know some thriller writers in this country who are actually world famous. I mean, Lauren Björk with the Shining Girls. Yeah, she's South African. But I haven't really heard of any. How is this? Through the Ravenous Night We Ride.
Ooh, look at that cover.
Look at that cover.
Lauren Bukes, is it Broken Monsters? That's fantastic. That's a fantastic book.
Yeah.
Love that one.
She's an Afrikaans Macy from South Africa.
Nice.
And the Sea was a fair master.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting stuck. And they're short story collections. My wife has read half of the one already, and she said it's brilliant.
Great.
So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into those. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's very cool. Yeah. Let's actually put this back here. Tell me about your writing, MJ.
Well, it's been with me all my life, I guess, and then I kind of just tucked it away, and I didn't really think that I had anything. I didn't think that, it would play a role in my life, but the way our lives play out, right? Sometimes the record gets to play twice, and you have to come full circle sometimes until it clicks. So that's kind of what happened with me, is, I wrote some things and I submitted it and I got great feedback. And then, there was a free class that was being offered in the spring, and I took it, and the feedback that I got from that class just validated, whatever talent I had that wanted me to keep going. There was a little bit of inner motivation that was given to me to keep going. So so right now I'm writing, I have a novella that's in the works, and I have a short story that I'm working on that I have to submit next week. So that's really like my focus right now, is that short story. But the difficult part is balancing everything, because writers have to read, and I love reading, and it's all about time, because working full time, having a hubs, having a dog, having activities outside of my home, you really have to sit down and budget your time, and you have to say, this is when I'm going to sit down and write, and I'm going to write from this time until this time. And I don't want to be disturbed, like, don't bother me. Let me do this. So if I could get a good 90 minutes every other day, I'm pleased with myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually saw an interview with an indie author. Mm-hmm. Oh, for the life of me, I can't remember who it is now. But he spoke about trying to write as a challenge with a full-time job.
Yeah. And
sometimes he would have to come home, and at midnight,
sure,
when he's finished everything else that he needs to do, he would have to sit down and carry on writing. Mm-hmm. And he was quite popular. I don't know if it was Chad Lutsky or one of my favorites, but it's quite something. And to find yourself. Yeah. And I mean, I love your story in Garbology. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
The one with dangerous hair. Yeah. and she sleeps and she wakes up and it's done it again. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, in all of my stories, there's a lot of truth. So all of that piece in that story about my side of the family with everyone having short hair, that's 100% accurate. That's 100% accurate.
Refuse to cut your hair.
Yeah, everybody just has short hair, and then so many women on my side of the family, on my mom's side of the family, they just decided not to have children, and it was or decided not to get married. Like, it literally is a thing, So I'm like, I'm taking bits from my family history and popping it in the story, and it works, So it's fascinating.
Yes, MJ the rebel, right? Doing it your way.
My mom was a rebel. She had me at 47, and that was in 1972. Nobody did that back then. She didn't get married till she was 35. Like, I was born a rebel.
A rebel with a cause, though.
Yeah. Here's how much of a rebel I am. My grandmother on my mom's side, my great grandmother on my mom's side, she came over from Eastern Europe. She met a boy in the village. Boy in the village says, I'm going to go to America, and I'm going to make it big. And when I make it big, I'm going to send for you. She's like, okay, go ahead. So he made it big. He sent for her. She got off the boat, and she's like, see ya. I'm starting my own life now. Mm-hmm. Yep. She accepted the boat ride, and she started on her own life. So that rebel streak is in my blood.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of the same. You look like a black sheep of the family. And I've always kind of done things my own way. Maybe not always in a healthy way. Maybe I should have relook at some of my life choices. But I've got no regrets. Just do things my own way.
You gotta live your life,
You gotta live your life, yeah. I mean, like for one like example, My wife and I, with Layla, we were determined to leave Johannesburg. We hated it there. Big city, crime. We got, we got invaded, home invasion.
Yeah.
Quite scary. We were all drugged, everything. And we just said, no, it's not worth it. And all sorts of things were happening outside of that as well. And so, we left all our support structures behind and came to the coast. And of course, we struggled. We're struggling. It's not easy just leaving everything, giving up on your job, giving up your job and your family, and then just saying, we need peace and quiet. We need to come to the coast, and we need to work it out from there. So that is kind of being rebellious. Some people might call it I don't know, irresponsible.
I don't think it's irresponsible. You're forging your own way. You're doing what calls to you, and I think that's what's important in life.
Yeah, that's what we're still doing.
Yeah.
Okay, now another thing I wanted to know about Occult Detective. Tell me about that readathon that you've got this month.
Yeah.
So I am kind of taking part in, but tell me about that. What are Occult Detectives? What do they do?
Occult Detective October came about because a good friend of the booktube community, Dave Brzeski, he has the magazine called Occult Detective Magazine. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle Unlimited. You can order issues. And it's basically a magazine full of short stories. And there's fiction and there's a nonfiction section. There's artwork in there. And he made mention to me that the magazine was struggling. They didn't know how many more issues they could do. And I said, you know what? I said, we need to have an Occult Detective event. Why not an Occult Detective October? And why not promote that genre that is so present in so many horror books?
But how does it relate? How does it relate to horror in the sense that you can attract horror readers? They don't know about it. How does it relate to horror? Explain that connection. And it's a strong connection, obviously.
Absolutely. So Occult Detectives, there's something going on. There's some type of a mystery. There's some type of an investigating. There's some type of a mystery that has to get solved. And the Occult Detective can either have supernatural powers or some type of occult magic, or maybe the situation that's happening has that occult element. So the book that we buddy read last year was Fallen Angel. Fallen Angel by William Forsberg. And that book was the basis of the movie Angel Heart with Robert De Niro and Mickey Rourke. God, I remembered his name.
And that was a great buddy read, and we loved it.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So there's voodoo in there. There's a supernatural element. We've got some angels and demons hanging out, and we're talking the big demons, and it's all weaved into this mystery about who is this detective? What is his identity? What is his role? And if you've never seen Angel Heart, don't watch it until you read the book. Read the book first, and your head will spin like The Exorcist. It's so good.
Like The Exorcist.
Yes. And Occult Detective, Roy Reads Anything he's the expert in this, but Occult Detective fiction goes all the way back to the 1800s, where there's something not right happening somewhere, and we're going to write about it and we're going to talk about it. The genre is so vast. You could probably read Occult Detective fiction all year and still not get bored.
Yeah. I need to explore more of it. And I know that I'm doing Every Dead Thing by John Connolly. Mm-hmm. And I'm mainly doing that because I love the Book of Lost Things, which is more like a dark fantasy horror. Mm-hmm. But I know there's Every Dead Thing with, what is his name? The detective?
Charlie Parker, is that it?
Charlie Parker, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely fits the Occult Detective checklist.
Yeah, and I've got that right here. Every Dead Thing.
Nice cover.
Yeah, that's a lovely cover. Mm-hmm. And I've actually had this on my shelf for a while, and I've been meaning to reread it, because I read it when I was very young. Mm-hmm. And I think it went over my head a little bit when I was too young. I don't know. But the other books I've read by the author I love so much, I have to pick this up again. For sure. This month. Yeah.
Love it.
And then there was a John Silence that I'm reading as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Jim Butcher books. Is that the author, Jim Butcher? His series of books are all Occult Detective. Scooby-Doo, is an occult detective. X-Files are occult detectives. Like, you could take this in a number of different ways. But yeah, as long as there's something supernatural, something not quite right, something otherworldly, it's an occult detective book.
I will go for the darker stuff.
Yeah.
For instance, the John Connolly book where his family get brutally murdered
Yeah.
right at the beginning, the mother and the daughter, and they're hung up in a grotesque way. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying anything else. But then it gets very dark. So I know, but horror readers want to know that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So I'm saying it can cross over into the horror genre.
Yeah.
That's what we try.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so just cozy gems. Oh, John, enough now.
I like it. I like it.
Have to be a completely separate channel.
Greg.
Hi, Greg. Okay, Pat says, questioned both MJ and Cliff. What were the first works of horror that you read that drew you into the genre? Sorry if this is already discussed. MJ, you want to go first?
Clive Barker. Clive Barker was the first one. He was the first one where I'm like, I think I like this. I think I like this a little bit. And it was Cabal, his book Cabal. Yeah. And I actually just picked up a copy. It's on my shelf over there because I want to do a reread of it. But yeah, that was the first thing that I read. And like I said, when I started reading horror instead of watching horror, it brought a whole new layer because it scared me more. Because you're in the dark reading the book and like you're not watching it on the screen. Everything is in your head and you can really freak yourself out with some of these books.
Yeah. So my first one I had mentioned before, and it was Stephen King. Yeah, it's about 13. I didn't have the joy of Goosebumps and Fear Street and all that stuff. I actually never did that. When I was younger, when I was about 10, 11, we moved to England for 2 years. And, my parents would be out often. So us young boys would sit and watch TV. And, of course, the things that were on British TV, not really for our eyes. Damien Omen 2, Frankenstein, all the kind of olds. Yeah. And that's what I fell in love with, yeah. A bit like what you said earlier. But Stephen King, it was the first novel I read. And I remember being under my blankets with a torchlight when I was supposed to be asleep. And actually going to school. I remember going to school with this novel and having my maths book in front of this. So I could read it while I was...
Cliff.
Yeah. I was into it that much. And I finished it in... Yeah. That was what got me into horror. More than anything. Yeah.
Love that.
What's your go-to comfort food?
I'm going to say any type of pasta. Bowl of pasta. Like last week I made lasagna. I can just have pasta and sauce and be happy. That's comfort for me.
I'm going to go unhealthier than that. I'm going to go pizza.
Oh, pizza's good too, but that's not. I don't think pizza's comfort food for me.
Yeah, if it's got bacon and feta and avocado and maybe a couple of others, it's got to be a good pizza.
Yeah,
like an Italian pizza. I could eat that all day.
Nice.
But yeah, we don't eat out often or anything. Takeouts are expensive, but that is a real comfort food for me.
Nice.
I love pizzas, yeah. Okay, book chat with Pat. Clive Barker, I just learned yesterday that he's written really popular books. Yes, he has, Pat.
I haven't read any.
Aberrat. He's written one of my favorite books of all time, The Thief of Always. It's just a wonderful YA book. And then he's read, and now I'm thinking of Neil Gaiman. We don't talk about Neil Gaiman on this channel at the moment.
Yeah.
But he's written Aberrat. It's a series. It's a beautiful series. And The Thief of Always is just brilliant.
Cool.
Yeah. Hi, Cliff MJ. How's it, Angel? Yeah. We don't speak about that author at the moment on my channel.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there. cats or dogs or bullfrogs? Choose one. Dogs.
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 Always dogs.
If Layla heard me saying cats or bullfrogs, she would go crazy.
Watson would be like, Mom.
Exactly, yeah.
Watson just had a birthday the other day. He turned 6.
Yeah, I can't remember when Layla's birthday is. Anita will know that more than me, but I think it's about the same age. I'm about 6.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's just say now, other topic of conversation is banned books. Now that's something you're really, really, really passionate about.
Yeah.
I know that I read Akatar. Akatar.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really taken much part beyond that, but tell me about your passion, where this came from, and I know that it.
Yeah. So banned books really, I've known about banned books for a lot of my adult life, and it wasn't until I started looking at the report that the American Library Association will put out every year to see what are the top banned and or challenged books of that year. And it was 2023 around this time. And I saw so many different books and I'm like, why is this happening? What's going on? And there was a book in particular that I read called Perks of Being a Wallflower by David Chbosky. And I read that book, and that book was so touching for me. It's about, a character named Charlie, and he's trying to find his way, in high school with friendships and being an introvert and not being 100% sure as to who he is as an individual, and just trying to navigate new territory, as we all do as teenagers. And that book showed up on the list as the 5th most banned book in the United States of America. And I'm like, what's going on and what can I do about it? And it all comes down to, different states, different attitudes, the governments. I mean, what happened in Utah with Akatar is just mind blowing to me. So in case anybody doesn't know, the whole state of Utah banned Sarah J. Maas's Akatar series. Now, Cliff and I have only read the first book, and I don't.
Hey, I'll read the second one with you.
Oh yeah, me too. Right, but
I'm having trouble getting into your group though, because I can't scan that phone on there.
Oh, that Fable thing.
Yeah. I'll do a read with you though. I'll do a read with you.
Totally. But we read the first book, and I think we could both agree that there's not much that's ban worthy in there. I mean, there's a couple things that I could see some male politicians getting up in arms about, especially when they're talking about male contraception. But that's about it. So, why the government has to get involved is just mind-blowing to me. And the point of the Banned Books Project is to raise awareness. It's for people to read books that have been banned, are banned or challenged, and to read them for yourself and to process the information. And if you have a booktube channel, talk about it. Just talk about it. Raise awareness. That's the best thing that we could do as creators.
Yeah. And one thing that I was actually kind of, when I heard about Stephen King books being banned in one state, in the state of Florida, thinking, what is going on? These are old books. Why now suddenly, straight after Utah bans these books, these YA books, is suddenly Stephen King being picked on? Or is this like a spreading virus or spreading thing? It's ridiculous.
It could be. And I think a lot of it is probably politically motivated, because we all know who Stephen King is going to be voting for in the November election. And we all know who Florida wants in the November election. Sorry, but it is what it is.
I'm South African, so
I know. But
I do know that there was a comment made about our country by a certain someone saying something about the shithole of Africa. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe you should just check it out. I'm not going to say anything more. But really, there was a comment made by a certain individual.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. And we've had a problem as a history in this country, in my country.
Yeah.
We've had a problem with more than just banning and censorship, as you know. So we've got a history as well. So yeah, it's. I tell you that there was a book in South Africa called Black Beauty. Yeah, it's a children's story about a horse.
Black
A little
Beauty
girl.
was a favorite of mine.
Yes, it's a little girl with a horse.
Mm-hmm.
It was banned during the 70s in South Africa. Not that they read it because of the title.
That's crazy.
No, but it was true.
Yeah, I believe you.
The government thought it was too inflammatory. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
So they banned the book because of the title.
It's the horse. It's the horse's name.
It's a horse with a little girl.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Okay, let's stop politics now, please.
Yeah. Let the librarians and the parents be the guides for the book, not the government. Yeah. Bottom line.
Yeah. Look, I mean, there's some naughty bits in Akhtar, and it's darker and grittier than I expected. I actually quite enjoyed it. There's some parts of it quite gritty, right? But there's nothing overly steamy or pornographic or overly sexual, right?
Nothing that doesn't happen to a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, that's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So parents want kids to read. Let them read.
Yeah. Okay. Parents get involved with what your kids are reading. That's all.
Favorite genre of horror?
I'm a very atmospheric horror girl. I like going into a book not knowing it's horror and then just getting smacked in the face with, "Ooh, this is horror." You know, splatterpunk is it's great. Extreme, I could take it in little bits, but I'm just like, give me a good vampire, give me a werewolf, give me some kind of a story that has a little extra something in it. That's what I like. I like subtlety. I
like end of the world, as you know it.
Ooh.
I like my two favorite books of all time are The Stand and Swan Song. They're both big, thick books, but they both deal with the end of the world. One case, the germ virus, COVID. Anyone? Did anyone read that in COVID? Don't know. But anyway, you got that, and then you got Swan Song, which is the post-apocalyptic nuclear war wipes out civilization, and people are living on this wasteland. And obviously, then it brings out the worst in people, and they turn on each other. So it's survival, and I love survival horror. I love post-apocalyptic horror. And if you put a little bit of good versus evil, then I like that as well. So just that's something extra.
Yeah.
Just maybe a little bit of a supernatural element. Maybe something like Not in the Road. I can't remember. I need to reread this. You got a bit of vampires there as well. Put something supernatural in there, where everything is hopeless and lost. Well, those two books, if you haven't read them, you just have to read them.
I will say one genre that I do love. I love a good possession book, but it has to be the right kind of a possession book, right? So this is one that I pulled. This is Goddess of Filth by V. Castro.
I have heard of that.
V. Castro is a fantastic writer, and this book is just it's short and it packs a punch. It packs a punch. Again, it's more of a feminist horror type of book, but I love possession horror, but I will not read The Exorcist.
Yeah, I got to admit, I'm not crazy about possession horror, especially in movies. I don't like it. It just seems just cheap. I don't like it. It doesn't. Yeah. I read The Exorcist. I found it terrifying, but also at the same time, it's not my kind of horror. I'm a little bit like you in terms of supernatural. I like my werewolves and witches and vampires. Yeah. And every now and then I've enjoyed some extreme horror as well. Really have. But it's got to be done well. If it's done badly, it can be one of the worst books you've ever read. If it's done badly. I read a book. Well, we read American Psycho. Yeah, Buddy read that. Or did we just read it? Yeah, I can't remember. But American Psycho, I know that you rated it higher than I did because of the fashion at the beginning. I hated that.
All of it. All of it. I loved American Psycho. I loved American Psycho so much where I was questioning, did any of it happen at all? I absolutely love that book. Yeah.
No, I love parts of the book, but the fashion statements and all that got too much for me. I'm sorry.
Greg didn't like
little humble South African who doesn't know I'm not into that.
It was very representative of that era because that's what that era was. That era was all surface and all of that type of consumerism and all that. So, when those scenes rolled out, that's how it was back in the 80s for sure.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a bad book. I think I gave it 3.5, rounded down to 3, just because I hated the fashion. Okay. Oh, no, wait, let's have a look at some more. Hang on. What am I doing here? Hang on. There's a problem with being host. You've got to multitask.
I know. That's the thing. You need like an assistant in the side.
Yeah. And she's busy. Yeah. The state of Utah has banned 13 books by 7 authors. Yeah. 6 of whom are women. Now that says something. Are you talking about going after people who start little free libraries if they put banned books in there?
Yeah.
In the USA, some folks ban books, but not guns.
True.
Yeah. That makes 0 sense.
Exactly.
Hey, Kratz, that's my friend. I'm going to come back to our Discord just now, I promise. We've started Fright Club.
Oh, yeah, the Fright Club.
Club, yeah.
Cool.
Clowns versus Spiders sounds like fun. One of your favorite horror memories, one that stands out. Look at me asking favorite questions. No, it's good, Max. Keeping us going. You're keeping us going here. What is your favorite horror memory?
It has to be watching Plan 9 from Outer Space and seeing Vampira for the first time come out and my mouth hitting the floor and me being like, I want to be her. Like, I want that vibe. It blew me away.
I've got an interesting one. It doesn't involve books or movies. It involves Halloween at school that I used to teach at in Cape Town. Halloween in South Africa is almost non-existent, right?
Okay.
You have maybe private clubs, pubs, clubs, and they organize private parties where you dress up, but you don't have trick or treating.
Okay.
Not in this part of the world. You'll get into trouble. Unless maybe it's a walled community. We have a lot of walled communities or gated communities with security guards, and then parents might arrange like kids can go out and do trick or treating. Keep an eye on them. But the school that I was working at, wonderful school, a very alternative kind of, kids didn't wear uniforms. Okay. So every year we would have a Halloween party at the school, dress up party. And we'd actually create this kind of Halloween fun house with scares so the kids can go through and get scared. And I can't help myself. I love horror. I think it was the first or second year I was out. No, I want to go as Pennywise, but I want to do it properly. I was sick and tired of these teachers that would put on witches' hats. Oh look, I'm dressed up. I decided to do the full Pennywise.
Nice.
And I wish I still had the pictures. I might have them somewhere. I'm going to see if I can track them down. Because I got this grade 11 student. She did my makeup for 2 hours.
Nice.
Before school started. I went to every shop that I could find, the best possible thing that I could find. And not ashamed to say that when I actually came out to greet the kids, one of them started crying, sort of ran to the principal, got upset, wanted to get taken home.
That's a compliment.
Quite a few of them actually ran off screaming.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
No, but genuinely upset until I stopped, because I had a thing of balloons, and I dribbled fake blood over the balloons, and I'd hand the kid a balloon, going, "Want a balloon?" I had my makeup, everything. I scared the crap out of these kids.
Oh my God.
but obviously most of them loved it. Maybe the younger ones. They had to go to the principal, and you had to try and explain to them it's okay, it's all makeup, it's okay. So that's my favorite horror moment.
I love it.
And then instead of the kids winning, I used to win every year, and they'd have to try and one up me for Halloween costume. So that was kind of fun.
That's a great memory.
Yeah, it was fun. I've tried. Have you tried Station 11? No.
It's good.
Is it good?
It's different. It's good. Yeah, I read it a long time ago, and it stayed
I'm
with.
writing this down.
That's by, is it Emily St. James? Is that who it is? And then HBO came out with a mini series, and they actually did a pretty decent job with it. But it's dystopian, so it's right up your alley.
So it's dystopian post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
Okay, I've written these down because, and I mean I loved Richard Matheson. Read it so long ago. What was it? The vampire one. More like zombies.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday.
Sorry?
I think we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it's called now.
I don't know.
It's gone off my head, yeah.
I get Masterson and Robert McCameron mixed up all the time.
Robert McCammon.
Yeah, I can't keep them straight.
Oh, you have to read Robert McCammon if you haven't read him.
I have a bunch of his. I thought I had a bunch of Masterton, but I don't. I have McCameron.
You have to read 2 books by McCammon. Boy's Life, essential reading, and Swan Song. Although that's a very long one.
Yeah.
I read that in 2.5 days. It's over 1,000 something pages. Just couldn't put it down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good book.
Yeah. I was on vacation, but I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to read the book.
Yeah.
So, hey, Crits. Exorcist is fantastic. I've got to keep up with these comments. I hated the fashion in American Psycho. Yeah, sorry. I'm the same way. I feel the same way.
I loved it.
I
won't read The Exorcist because I grew up in a very strict Roman Catholic household. So strict where, if you didn't go to mass, basically you were going to get turned out to be homeless. So when the world premiere of The Exorcist happened on CBS television, my mother called a family meeting and said, we're all watching this as a family. And when I tell you I was probably 8 years old, and I had night terrors. It scared the hell. When I tell you it scared the hell out of me, it scared the hell out of me. It scared the hell out of me so much that I remember in the movie, one of the investigators or one of the priests said it came in through the window. You had the window open in October, and that's how it came in. October 1st, every single window in my house is shut at sundown. They are not open at night at all because my husband, he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to tell you this story, but we cannot have the windows open in October at all at night because the spirits see the light and they want to come in. And if the wrong spirit comes in, we're screwed. So yes,
wow,
I have complete Roman Catholic traumatization from The Exorcist, and I will not watch it and I will not read it. Full stop. No, thank you.
Sort of drop mic.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
No, not happening.
I still have no idea if I like it or not. Yeah.
I want to read it again. I want to pick up signs if it was all just happening up there, if it really happened,
Yeah.
That's what makes a good book, when you question it afterwards.
No, I have no problem with story, just fashion. I've read American Psycho twice, still have no idea whether I like it or not. Critic of Bret Easton Ellis, the most superficial and disingenuous of authors in the 80s.
I like him. I read his latest, The Shards, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah. And I think you might like Unmothers, J. and feminist folk horror.
I'm writing it down.
I've written down quite a lot already. I'm actually going to check them out after this.
Is that the one with the horseshoe upside down? The cover? I think it is.
Okay. The Unmothers by Leslie J. Anderson.
I think that's a newer release. I remember seeing it around.
Oh, this is the good one. This next one. That wins Teacher of the Year.
Yes.
Oh, and then the next year I dressed up as like an undead soldier. I got full military uniform with bullet holes in it.
Cool.
Bullet holes in it and everything. And I did the whole makeup with blood and mud. And
I like it.
I won that year as well. Yeah.
One year I was a dead cow. I was a dead cowboy, and I had like dirt all over me, like I was buried, and I just got up out of a grave.
That is so cool. Banning books or editing movies, music is a gateway for the ultimate temptation. Makes it more so. Yeah, that's true.
I would have never read ACOTAR if Utah didn't ban it. That wasn't on my bingo card in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I did.
Clip, you should read McCammon's Days. Yeah, I'm trying to get hold of that.
I have that. I have that on my Kindle waiting for me.
Yeah, I need to get that on my Kindle. But I love the author so much. I'm trying to find all these physical books.
Mm-hmm.
The halfway mark, yeah. I really want to read that. Emily, it's St. John Mandel. The book is much better than TV series.
Yes, it does follow the book pretty well, though, I will say. They had a lot of key scenes and a lot of things that were very familiar to me, but the book is definitely better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's both of those books, when I did my top 10 books of all time, they're both in there. Swan Song is number 1, and Robert McCammon, Boy's Life, I think it's number 5. They are highly recommended. MJ, highly. And I mean, all the other books he's read, nothing lives up to those 2 books. There's so many reviews on Goodreads that talk about Boy's Life as having changed their life. This is a great thing I've ever read. Really, it's powerful.
Cool.
Yeah. I love speculative stories for the same reason. It's so strange when a story can make you feel unmoored from reality. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Deliciously weird.
That's what I love.
That's what you love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to actually do a little thing on favorite movies. Just like kind of, because you said you grew up watching, as a little girl, horror movies.
Yeah.
And you fell in love with those movies, black and white movies, that sort of stuff. So tell me about some of the movies that, let me just full screen here. Yeah.
I'd say my top horror movie that I will watch, it doesn't matter when it started or when it's airing, or I could be 2 minutes into it, or I could be 5 minutes until it ends. 30 Days of Night. 30 Days of Night is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. And I think it's the way that the director David Slade accomplished the visuals for that movie. So it takes just a brief little thing. It takes place in Alaska during the time of year where it's completely 30 days of darkness. Vampires learn about this and they say, hey, let's go to this town in Alaska. Maybe we can have a 24-hour all-you-can-eat buffet. So stuff happens and they're there. But the overhead angles that this director has with the white snow and the vampires pouncing on this town,
I remember.
It curdles your blood in such a way that literally you're like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. You are on the edge of your seat for the entire movie. Like, it's just that good. Now, I will say the sequel, no. Just watch 30 Days of Night and that's it, and be done with it.
Yeah.
The sequel.
My favorite. Well, some of my favorite movies of all time, but my favorite trilogy, or my favorite, it's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Just George Romero, and I've got a soft spot for zombies. I like zombies, but I like them slow and overwhelming. There's so freaking many of them that it doesn't matter how fast you run. There's just going to be more of them.
Mm-hmm.
They come from all directions. There's nothing you can do,
Right.
and it doesn't matter. They're slow, but they get you, and there'll be 10 of them that get you and pull you to the ground, and just as and some of the gory scenes in those movies. And Night of the Living Dead is just special. It's black and white.
Yes.
It's so suspenseful. It's tense. It's about that group of people that.
Cliff, you're frozen. No. Oh no, Cliff's frozen.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Are you there?
I can hear you. Okay, now you're back.
There you go. Yeah. And they brought it up in their house.
Yes.
Yeah, they brought it up in that house, and it's just this zombies from everywhere. And
that film came out when? What year?
1960. 7, 8, 9. I don't know. It's 1960.
Yeah.
It's definitely 1960.
And you can watch it today for anybody that's never watched it, and it will still scare the hell out of you.
There's one freaking scene. You know the scene I'm talking about?
Maybe.
Down in the cellar, when they open the cellar door, there's a little girl with her mother's. You know, the scene, it just scared the crap out of me. And it's also got incredible social commentary, because the end of it, can't give it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just. But my favorite is the second one, Dawn of the Dead. Nice. It's one of my favorite movies. It's in my top 5 movies of all time. It's set where there's a shopping complex, and once again, slow moving, but it just says so much about materialism, and it's so funny in some scenes. It's zombie trying to get up the down escalator. Just every time he falls, he tries to go again. Gets it.
Yeah.
And the way they look, and the way they look at the fashion, MJ. Fashion.
Yep.
And they look at all the clothing, they look at all the fashion, and it's like they're remembering their
past life.
It's like they're remembering something. They're not there, but they're remembering that this is a part of their former life. It's just so well done. I just love it. Very good. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Are we picking another one?
Well, you can.
Yeah. Okay. One that I think doesn't get talked about a lot, and I've talked about it a lot, is wait, I wrote it down. Clive Barker, and it's Nightbreed. Did you ever see Nightbreed?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
With Cronenberg as the bad guy. Come on, that's so good. It's good. The special effects are crap. Like I watched it not too long ago, and I'm like, oh, but the scenes with Cronenberg as the bad guy, it's just really, really good. And again, we have a protagonist that's not sure, is he this serial killer, or is it all happening in his head? It's one of those themes. So if you've never seen Nightbreed, I think it's on Amazon. It might be free, or it's on Tubi or one of those places. Watch it and you'll have a blast. It's just so good.
I've got 2 Clive Barker films here. Now that we're on Clive Barker. The one is, and yeah, so we've got to talk about the original one. I think it was in 1984, maybe 1990. Oh, someone can help me out there. The guy with all the bees, the Candyman. The Candyman.
I've never seen Candyman.
It's been remade. The original one was so chilling. It's set in this kind of derelict apartment, Manhattan or something, and yeah, I can't remember all the details, but basically it's not a folk horror. It's like a horror where, yeah, it is a bit of a folk horror. You say this creature's name 5 times up here. Yeah. So I highly recommend that. It's got to be the original, because there was a remake. And then if you want some seriously gory stuff, Midnight Meat Train. And I thought that was a better movie. It was a really, really good movie, but it's basically a slasher serial killer guy that's working in the underground in New York City, and it's brutal, but it goes to places you don't expect at all. It really does go to a place. The ending is just wow. So yeah, Midnight Meat Train, and this other one, Candyman.
Nice. I'm gonna just throw one last one in, just because I wrote it down. Ginger Snaps.
Ooh,
it's so good.
It's 80s. Good. That's very 80s, eh?
I think it's 9. Is it more 90s? Mid 90s, late 90s?
I'm not sure.
I think it's later than you think it is, but it's a female werewolf that is kind of in a mental institution because she's not sure what's happening with her, and then she finds out that she's a werewolf. It's so good. It's so good because think about it. There aren't very many female werewolf movies out there.
No, I don't think so.
Right? No.
I mean, I love American Werewolf in London. That's a great one.
Wonderful. It's
Good.
classic.
That's chef's kiss.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But there's not a lot out there that have a female werewolf, and Ginger Snaps is done so well. Highly recommend it. Just the first one. Don't watch the second, third, fourth, or however many there are.
Which is normally the case for these horror series. Don't watch the second or third. What's one song you love so much that no matter your mood will make you smile?
Rio by Duran Duran. That's it.
Rio
by Duran Duran.
Wish you were here.
I hear that bass and I'm there. I'm out of that mood and I'm singing and dancing, and it's like the fountain of youth for me.
Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
That's a good one.
My favorite song of all time.
Nice.
I can play it over and over again when he starts singing that. And if you see the Pulse concert, it's so well done. With David Gilmour, Pulse.
I saw Pink Floyd do it in the 90s. I saw them play at one of their reunion tours, and it was a great concert. I just remember there was so many different things going on.
Their best concerts in terms of when they were older is Pulse, Pulse. You have to watch that concert.
Cool.
Okay. So one song is on my books to reread.
Nice.
Hey, I'll reread it with you. Greg, we're gonna do a reread together.
Greg, why are you talking about 2026, man?
Maybe 2025. Come on, 2025. It's a long book. Believe me, it's a long book. Hello, how's Gareth?
My buddy Gareth.
Yeah. Glad I've caught this. Yeah, glad you're here. Now you're gonna have to rewatch the whole thing.
Yep, we talked about you the whole time.
Hope everyone okay and having a good weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, same to you.
Gareth. Ebook, songs, and other magic. Welcome aboard. Yeah. I've got to run. Catch you guys later. Cheers,
Bye,
Greg. Until we do, what's it? Salem's Lot. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Is there any horror novel that you found to be extreme besides The Exorcist? Be too extreme? Yes. I'll go with that. Now you go first.
I don't remember the name of it. It was something that I read for June on the Range this year, and it was on Kindle Unlimited, and it just was unnecessary. And I'm talking about male dismemberment, and I'm like, it doesn't have a part of this. It doesn't fit with the story, and I DNF'd it. Yeah. So it didn't have. It wasn't a part of the plot at all. It was just there for shock value.
Okay, yeah. I've got one. Consider this a public warning notice. unless you love extreme horror. If you love extreme horror and you don't mind going there, then it's fine. But it was, of course, no one writes for free, and it's not just extreme on gore and stuff. It's just over sick. Oh, no, it's sick.
Just too much.
It's sick. In terms sexually. So it's all the trigger warnings. It's just
everything.
It's pretty much everything. If you love extreme horror, go for it. There are people out there that will read it and go 5 stars. This, and it gives warnings on the book. So if you enjoy that, then it's fine. But if you don't read it. Don't read it. It's just not for you. No one writes for free. I gave it 3 stars because it set out what it was supposed to do. I'm not the kind of person that's going to give it a 1 star because I was warned and I was testing myself. And so it set out to absolutely shock and tear any taboo that you might ever, So I read it anyway and I finished it. But afterwards I needed a hug in a shower and a very hot shower, scrub myself down.
Now, there's some extreme horror books like Teenage Psycho Bloodbath, I think it's called, by Carl John Lee. I loved that book. I gave that book 5 stars, and the extreme horror that was in there, it fit within the plot. Like, I'm okay with that. But when it doesn't fit, that's when I have problems.
Just think, okay, family, random guy gets in the car with a gun, makes him drive out in the desert, and he's got a bag with him of stuff.
Yeah, no.
And things just go from, it's just random, and it's, I'm not even, not going to think about it.
I probably would have shut the book.
Sorry? Probably?
Probably would have shut the book,
Yeah. Well, there's a point where they actually warn you again, where it's going to get worse.
In the middle of the book, they warn you again?
In the middle of the book, they warn you again. So listen, if you don't want to...
They're not holding back. They're letting you know, listen, do not pass go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a responsible publisher.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. The whole point of zombies is that they're slow and relentless. Thank you, Gareth. Thank you. The whole point is that they're not supposed to be like...
We've had this conversation before.
What's it? 30 Days of Night? No, what's it one? Not 30 Days. No, you've got me thinking about your movie now. I'm talking about that British movie where they run at the speed of light and they can grab you like from nowhere.
The Shambles.
No, it's like a post-apocalyptic zombie.
World War Z.
No, although that's a good.
Yeah, they run pretty fast in World War Z.
Didn't like the movie, loved the book.
Yeah.
But zombies need to be slow and relentless. That's what they are.
I know.
That's why they.
I had this conversation with Gareth on one of our infamous lives that went for 4 hours, and I'm like, if I'm gonna be a zombie, right? I'm a fit chick. I'm coming after you. I'm not slow. I'm running at full gallop, and I'm going to take a bite out of you. That's how it's going to go down. I'm not going to be slow like molasses. I'm coming after you.
No, but if you're a zombie and you're being brought up, if you basically died and now you're reborn, a lot of your faculties and a lot of your coordination and everything is gone. The only thing that's left is your desire to bite Gareth.
Right.
You're going to be slow and shambling and clumsy, and that's how zombies are supposed to be.
Yeah, but that's most of the population, you know. I'm in the population that likes to work out, so I'm gonna be that weird zombie, that zombie anomaly. That's what I'm gonna be.
That's what you're gonna be, like that movie, Zombie
Enigma.
What?
Enigma.
Oh man, such a great movie. Where they're going to a fun fair, and it's got a whole lot of Woody Harrelson, and it's got Bill Murray. Bill Murray.
Zombieland?
Zombieland. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You like that person. Cardio. Rule number 1. Cardio.
Basically,
yeah. Okay. Only those left alive with a fun, quirky then.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I love Dawn the most out of that's the best for me.
Yes, yeah. Maria, yes.
Maria. This dead movie struck me as a commentary on race and US. Yeah, that's like I said at the end there's that commentary where the guy comes out. What happens to him? Yeah. Nightbreed, great. Was one of my favorite Elfman scores.
Danny Elfman, yeah.
I have to give that another rewatch. Andy Mann's, it's a great film.
Hey, Annie.
No. Candyman is terrifying. You got to watch the original.
I'll have to.
That's a guy covered in bees. It's a cover.
Cool.
I haven't seen the remake. Midnight Meat Train is gory, wonderful. Yeah, Maria, that's it. But you don't expect what's going to happen in that film. You think it's just a standard slasher serial killer thing, but it goes to a weird place. Oh, it's so good. Zombies are my second favorite monsters because they tell the same story, but it's much more about the characters showing their true nature, reflections of lifestyle. Ginger Snaps came out in 2000. Both Candyman and Ginger Snaps on a few streaming channels. Yeah.
I gotta give Ginger Snaps another watch. That's good.
Yeah, I'll have to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Although female werewolves scare me a little bit.
Yes. Yes. We're smart.
If we're throwing out movie recs, I'd offer Terrified. Damien, Argentinian horror that is really unsettling. It's on Shudder. Okay?
Cool.
I'm going to write that down. Terrified. Have you seen Rec?
No.
As in REC, as in record.
No.
A Spanish film, and it is freaking terrifying. I don't normally like found footage movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's set in this apartment block in Spain, and there's a virus or something going on there, and these people end up there looking. It is terrifying.
Sounds good.
REC. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Brunette sister from played Beverly Marsh from It. Oh, I love that. I love that mini series of It. I don't know why it gets, and Tom Curry.
It's a good one.
I love that. I prefer it to the latest one.
Yeah.
It's just got something more heart. It's got like.
Tim Curry's fantastic.
Oh, it's brilliant. What's Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yep.
Okay. 28 Days Later. Yeah, that's one I was thinking of. Thanks. Mark. It's fast-moving zombies.
My kind of zombies.
Technically, they weren't zombies. Okay, yeah. But we're just going to call them that. Okay.
They're ragey. Ooh, I like that better.
Yeah, that's it. They're ragies. Yeah.
I would make for a good ragey.
Because of the cardio, right?
I think so.
Yeah. That's not.
Yeah, you do, buddy.
Yeah. I'd lock all the windows, close all the doors, and sit there with my phone and run fast and rock.
Yeah, just make sure you shut your windows at when the sun goes down.
Yeah. Watch out, MJ. Gotta go. Thanks for the chilling show.
So good.
That is just so good. Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers.
I'm sure that's the one with Nazis. Yeah, just tell me, Matt. Just remind me about that. It is so good. It's like a tank with a zombie. It's like, I think, with zombie Nazis or something. But I remember it being so brutal, so good.
I remember that name.
Black and white French film called Eyes Without a Face. Yeah.
Billy Idol.
It's a powerful movie. Need to run to. Thanks for that. Cheers, Pat. Being here. Dog Soldiers is amazing. Yeah, you must write that down. It's a very, very, very good. Right. But I'm trying to remember if it's about Nazi zombies or something. They're in the snow and something's. Someone needs to tell me. An army cadet. Yeah, an army cadet group surrounded by werewolves in a forest in Scotland. Okay, yeah, I was a little bit off there, but hey, it's been a long time since I've watched it.
I love a good werewolf story.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, this was very, very, very good. Okay. So I think it's a military training. I got the soldiers part right, hey? Military part right.
Yeah.
I just mix the zombies and the Nazis and the werewolves up.
Put them in.
You're thinking of Dead Snow. Yeah. Oh, Dead Snow. Yeah. That's brilliant.
That's
but I know that I've seen both. I know that I've seen Dog Soldiers as well as Dead Snow. So Dead Snow is definitely Nazis. I think they're in a tank or something, and it's brilliant. Yeah, no, great, man. Us, I think we did pretty well for a first chance. I'm not quite Gareth, but 1 hour and 40 minutes is pretty damn good.
That is good.
That is good, yeah. You told me that you guys go on for 4 hours.
Gareth and I did one night. Yeah, it was during winter, and I think his wife might have been out of town or something, and he's like, I got nothing to do, and I'm like, all right. So literally, we talked from 7 o'clock my time until midnight, and I'm like, dude, it's 4 o'clock in the morning over there. But people had Michael K. Vaughan was on, and he was traveling from like point A to point B, and he listened to us the whole time, and he's like, you guys made my trip go by so fast. He was literally driving from like one part of his state to the next. It was so funny.
No, but when you're having fun, time flies.
That's it. You know,
this was fun. This was awesome.
Definitely
nice when people actually take part in the comments and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all about collaboration and participation. That's what we like.
Yeah. Maybe have a chat with Gareth and you sometime.
Totally.
Yeah.
You ready to shift on?
Gareth can chat a bit. I think our show was 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So he does chat a bit.
Oh yeah. Yep. We've always got stuff to talk about.
It's time for me to go outside to read a bit. That was another great hangout. Thanks, Max. I have to plan my next painting as well. See you on Discord. Yeah. Started my little book club. Just trying to get used to Discord again. Don't know how else to have a book club.
Yeah.
That's what all the kids are raving about these days. We need to do it again soon. Yeah.
We'll do a marathon.
Yeah. I'll just get the 3 of us. And you take a break, come back, that kind of thing.
Our breaks are when we snack. We've always got snacks.
May the force be with you, Max. Much love. And Cliff, me and Dave want you on our next show.
Ooh, yeah. South African time. Work that out, guys.
When I come across this dark and pasty. But are we moving into summer? No, we're moving into summer. So
yeah.
In the middle of summer, it'll be warm. It'll be sunny at about 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So I'll start at 6 o'clock. Should be able. But then again, it's going to get dark by 9 o'clock. And if I'm still on, then I have to turn the lights on.
Yeah.
See you on the next show. Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. It's just an hour apart from me. I know.
Yeah, but it's the U.S. people that need to, all got to work out, right?
Yeah.
Cliff, where's the majority of your audience from?
U.S.
Do you look at it? Yeah.
Long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a terrific stream.
Yay.
Thank you. And clocks are forward soon in the UK. Yeah.
Ours isn't for a while yet. And that's weird when it happens because I'll be waiting for videos to watch from a lot of my favorites. And I'm like, what's going on? Why isn't Gareth putting out a video? It's because of the time difference. Yeah.
No, it's I don't know this whole thing. You obviously have in America, you have what's it?
Daylight savings.
Daylight savings, yeah. South Africa's
we're not really saving much, I don't think.
South Africa's all in one time, so only in one time zone. So it makes it quite easy.
Yeah, that's what we need, but we don't have that. I have to do math.
Okay. Do you remember last year I was late for my own show?
Yes. Dave was on, and it was his own show. And Dave's like, I don't know what's going on with Gareth. And I'm like, oh my God, their clocks changed and he doesn't know. I'm like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
It was an honest mistake.
That stuff just happens there. That just happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
A little bit like my technological difficulties every now and then. Should see some of my shows.
It happens. Yeah. Those are the memories that you look at later and you laugh about. I will always remember that. And you can go back in Garrett's channel and check out that video. It was so good.
There was one where I could still see myself frozen. But it was my face was like, And it was like for 30, 40 seconds. Like, come on, come fix yourself.
Catch up.
Yeah, exactly.
I would move to Hawaii. It'd be
No
hella
time,
expensive.
single time zone. Yeah. Clocks are back in the autumn. We might miss your show again. Okay, guys, we are going to say cheerio.
Cheerio.
Yeah, this has been absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of you guys for taking part. Hawaii would be awesome. Yeah.
It was super.
And
Everybody.
thank you for such an epic chat. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
We'll have a marathon and see if I can keep up with you and Gary. Yeah. Might need to watch some more movies first.
There you go.
Yeah, great show. Okay, guys, we are going to go and stream. Start again. See if you got the movie reference here.
Not yet.
2, 1. Okay, I don't think I did that right. Mike Myers?
Is it?